So last class we created a front end for the adding the course in this case. So course details add ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ we have created. Today's class we will be creating a model for this, and we store the data in that particular model in this case. Okay. So for that, say the HTML code is ready. The views.py function we have to write. Go to the models.py. So in the models.py, you have to create a class which will take all these information from the user in this case. Okay. So like let us start with class by name course master data. So I'll give the name of that particular class as course master data in this case, and open close. Inside this you have to pass one parameter, that is models dot model. Okay, it is one built-in class inside the Python language which is used to define the data types for the variables in this case. Okay, so come to the next line. Yes. Here, for each and every field that we are taking, we create one variable. So, like example, first is a course name. So, now in Martini, I will write course name is equal to models dot char field. Remember, here we have char field, int field, float field. Okay, these fields will tell. One more is text field. So these fields will tell what type of data that can be stored inside the variable in this case. So when I have given char field, it will take alphabets, numbers, symbols, anything you want. Okay. Next, inside this, we have to declare one variable in this, that is called as max length. Max length will tell me how many characters the variable can store. Okay, so that should always be depending on in the HTML design that you have created. Say in the course name, here you have given maximum characters is 50. So here also it should be 50. It can be more than that, but it should not be less than that. Okay, so I'll make it as 50 in this case. Okay, next, separated by comma. If you want it to be a default value, suppose user has not entered any data, I want a null to be stored in that place. I'll say default is equal to double quotation open close. This is optional, not necessary. But yakadra, when we have created a HTML code, here we have mentioned it as required, means it is a compulsory field. So when you have given required, this should not be given. This should be given only when you have not given required field for that particular input in this case. Okay, since I have already given required, I will not write this. Just remember, there is an option called as default equal to double quotation open close. Next, after this, the second field that I need to take is the course fees. Okay, so I'll declare one more variable, course fees equal to same models dot. Now fees is always in a numeric format in this case. So numeric format can be a decimal value or a whole number. We prefer using a decimal value in this. So decimal use ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದಾಗ we use float field. Okay, float field, and here field, okay, float field, and here what I can do is I can make use of default equal to 0. Why I'll give default equal to 0? Suppose if the user has not entered any value, I will say 0 should be entered in that particular post business. At this point, otherwise anyhow user will be entering the data from the front end in this. User will enter madlilla antandre, it will store 0 in that particular place. Next, after course fees, next I have is a course duration. It will be in months in this case. Okay, so for that I will mention course duration, or you can just mention it as duration also in this case. That is also fine. So duration is equal to models dot float field open close. Inside this again I'll give default equal to 0. Okay, or you can take numeric it to compulsory. The user is entering 1 2 3 4 5 6. I can make use of a integer field. So integer field and I'll say default equal to 0. So that will be the duration. After duration, next I have the course details in this case. Okay, so course details bandaga I'll use course details equal to models dot we make use of char field, and char field max length should be more in this case. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ since it is a text box, we are using a text area tag in this, you can enter more information. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ದು course in the full Python full stack course, whatever the details, whatever the topics I'm teaching, I have to put all those topics in this case. So it might take a huge number of characters. So I will go up to 2000 in this, not an issue. You can make use of 2000 characters in this case. Otherwise, you can also make use of one more field called as text field. You can make use of text field and keep this empty. Text field ಕೊಟ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಷ್ಟು ಡೇಟಾ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. But generally, very rare case we make use of text field in this case. But yes, sufficient for me to have 2000 characters for the char field in this case. Clear with this point? So these are the courses that I have added in this case. Okay. Now save the application. Generally, whenever we are adding any course in this case, there are some default information that should be stored inside the uh, uh, model in this case. I information a user kadin tagolangala. Like example, I can have soft delete. Now, what is soft delete? Soft delete is something where I will set the soft delete value to 0 always. Yakandra, we never store or we never delete the data from the database. Now, data delete manangal database in the end. But sometimes user we should not display the data to the user. Say example, I have added one course, say computer basics, but now I have stopped taking computer basics in this case. So in that case, I don't want that computer basic course to be displayed to everybody or anybody in this. Avag naven martivi, instead of deleting that course, we will set the soft delete to 1. Okay, soft delete 1 and set madde antandre it is by default deleted ante consider martivi. I'll be showing you that in the later case in this case. But for the time, okay, leave this for the time being, but let us not have that option in this case. Okay, so now in Made, I have taken the front end fields, whatever the front end fields I have taken those front end fields in this case. Save this. Whenever you make any change in the models.py, compulsory you have to execute make migration and migrate. Okay, so Python manage.py make migrations and click on enter. Now it says create a model course data, means he has created the model in this case. Whenever you execute make migration, compulsory you have to execute migrate. Suppose if you have done any mistakes in the spelling of the class names and all, it will throw an error. Suppose if it is not throwing any error, means everything is correct in this case. Now the model is created in the database. So a model ಹೆಸರು ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is 0001 underscore initial. Okay, means now whatever the model we had created by the name course master data, he will identify this model by the name 0001 underscore initial. We need not bother about this. We are more concerned with this. That's it. Okay. Now, after this, back to run server. So now we have created the front end, we have created the back end in this case. Front end is our HTML code, back end is our model.py in this case. Now the data from the front end should be stored inside the models.py. That is possible through views.py. So what we do is in the views.py we have to write the save code in this case. How do we write it? Now before writing the save code in this, we have to import models.py in this particular file. Yadika, because in this class I need to access the class called as course master data. Okay, if you remember in C language, when you are writing a printf statement, you make use of hash include stdio.h. That is because a printf ಏನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, that is written inside the stdio.h. So for that reason you write hash include stdio.h. The same way, if I want to access this class in another file, I have to import this file in that particular file. Okay, so what I have to do for that? Very simple. From your application name is student details, that is in capital letters, dot models, import the name of the class. Okay, or you can make use of star. If you use star, what happens is, what in future how many ever classes you create inside this can be accessed by views.py, and generally we recommend import star itself, because we have to make use of all the models in the views in this case. So for that reason I am putting it as import star. Compulsory you have to mention this particular line to access that class in the views.py. Now coming to the course master in this. Course master naga, whenever the data is saved, I need to display a message to the user. So for that reason, I'll declare one variable called as MSG. Okay. Now understand the process. When I have typed localhost colon 8000 slash course master, he came to this function and he executed this line and he is displaying you the HTML page. Once I enter all the data inside this, click on add course. Again, he will go back to the same function. Okay. In the same, he will go back to the same function, and now I need to save the data. When he goes to this function for the second time, okay, that is once I enter all the data, click on the add course. When he goes to this particular function, there will be one object called as post. An object called as a method that is initialized to post. First time ಬಂದ ಖಾಲಿ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾನೆ. Second time ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾನಲ್ಲಿ, he will be having the information inside that method variable by set to post in this case. So I have to check whether he is coming to this function for the first time or second time, because first time ಬಂದನ ಖಾಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, second time ಬಂದನ it has a data inside this. Okay, how to check it? Very simple. You have to say put on condition if request dot method double equal to post. Put a colon, come inside this. Inside this, we will be fetching the data from the front end, storing it inside the models. Hang ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Very simple. Create the model object. One classic object create ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. That is, I will say course master short form. I'll use CM. CM is equal to course master data close. Or you can make use of CMD. That would be a good option. CMD. Just I am taking the first letters of each word in this case. So CMD is equal to course master data. That means I have created an object called as CMD. So CMD linda, very simple, go to models.py, fetch the variable name, mention CMD dot the name of the variable is equal to, I need to bring the course name from the front end, from the HTML page. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, I will write request dot post in capital letters. I told you, whenever the control comes to this page for the second time, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬಟನ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡೇಟಾಗಳು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತವೆ. So what I am doing is, from this I want to fetch whatever the value he has entered in this text box, that is course name. So for that I'll access the name of the text box and write it here. Have you understood this? Yes? Little confusing. Okay, very simple. Course master until models, you have created a model. For that you have created an object called CMD. This is clear. Okay, now what I want to do is, from the HTML page I need to store the data in the variables of the models. HTML page naga we have tag names. In the models we have the variables. Okay, so what I am doing is, the data must be fetched from the HTML page. So HTML page and data ತಗೊಂಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ we make use of request.post the name of the text box. Okay, whatever the name property I have given for that text box in this. ಇದು ಡೇಟಾ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತದ, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನೇಮ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಟನ್ C language. So I have used C language. This data will be fetched, whatever you have written here will be fetched by this particular line. So ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಸಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು? ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಮಾಡಲ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನೇಮ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್. ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನೇಮ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿವಿ. ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಡ್. ದಿಸ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನೇಮ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ is inside the course master data. So course master data is on the object create ಮಾಡಿವಿ called as CMD. So anything that is there inside the class can be accessed through the object of the class. So for that what I have written CMD dot course name. So course name is in models.py. Request dot course name is a data that is there in the HTML page. So from the HTML page he has brought that C language and he is copying that inside the course name in this case. Understood this? Same thing, copy paste. Second, I need to fetch the course fees. So now on the left side I'll make course fees. I'll copy this course fees. Next, the same way I need to bring the duration, store it here. Same way I need to bring the course details, save it here. Okay, from which text box idu change agbeku. So now we go to HTML page. In the HTML page I have course fees. Copy this, paste it. The same way I need to bring the course duration. So variable name copy madkori, paste it. Copy paste madri so that you don't make spelling mistakes. If you make spelling mistakes on the left side, that is these tag names, if you make a spelling mistakes he will give an error. If you make spelling mistakes on the left side, then null value will be stored in this case. Empty value will be stored in these variables. Okay, so adaka copy paste is the best option to avoid such mistakes in this case, and I have done the copy paste work in this case. So now all the variables are initialized. After initializing, it is very important to call the save function in this case. So the object name use ಮಾಡಿ call the save function. The save function will store the data permanently in this case. If you forget to call the save function, the data is not saved. But this, after saving the data, I want to display a message to the user saying that course added successful. So I'm giving a message to the, I want to display a message to the user. Adu one variable na create ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, and this variable has to be passed when you are calling the HTML page. So what I have to do, very simple, you have to pass the third parameter in this case in the form of dictionary. Dictionary ಅಂದ್ರೆ key value pair concept. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, I will say MSG colon MSG. So whatever the message is initialized here will be copied in this case, and that will be displayed to the in the HTML page. Now you have passed the course name, but you have passed the message, but this message is not displayed in the HTML page. A HTML page a variable barbeku. So a variable barbeku andra on the top I want to display. So what I will do, very simple, in this I will create a center tag. Inside that I'll use a h4 heading. Inside that put two flower brackets and put the name of the variable. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಇರ್ತದ, this variable is exactly the same name what you have given here. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀರಿ, forget about this. Okay, if you have given MESSAGE, HTML page na whatever you have put in double quotation will be displayed. Okay, so generally the confusion bad antale we keep the same names in this case. Clear with this point? That's it. This is how we save the data in this case. Okay, let us see how this works. Say just a refresh. Okay, now let me add this in this case. Now type ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು C language and type ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. But is it okay if I store the data in the small letters itself? Does it look good? No, it should be converted to capital letters. You can't tell user to convert it into capital letters. ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸ, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, I can automatically convert this string to capital letters by using upper ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ automatically it will be converted to capital letters. And so all the characters will be converted to capital letters in this case. Clear with this? Okay. Same way, course details also, I want it to be converted to capital letters. Numbers of a course fees and duration is in numbers. So I can't convert it into uppercase in this case. Save ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, refresh the web page. Now I will write C language. C language, everything in small letters. Say course fees is 3000. Say duration is 2 months. And here I'll display all the course details in this case. Like we have INTRODUCT, an introduction. Next, keywords, data types. Then we have operators. Then after operators. And it goes on. Okay, so ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, then click on add, it shows an error. This error ಈ screen ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ, remember the message CSRF verification failed. That means whenever you are storing the data, whenever you have created a HTML page, in this case HTML page naga compulsory you should add one Python tag. In this case Python tag under something like this. Inside this you have to create one variable called as csrf underscore token. csrf underscore token is like a proof or a receipt number for this HTML page. Every time you ಇದು ಕೊಟ್ಟ ತಕ್ಷಣ go back to the course master. Okay, every time a HTML page is sent to you by the client, by the server, every page is identified by a receipt number that we call it as CSRF token. Okay, ಈಗ ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನಾಗ ಇದು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಬಂದದ, you can't send the link to some other friend and he can't send the data to the server. ಎದಕ್ಕೆ? Because every time form is sent to you, that information will be stored by the server that this form is sent to you. So 3 people are there, I will send this form with 3 different forms, will be having 3 separate token numbers in this case. ಅದು ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ಸೇ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, the form I have sent to him and the data received will be a proof for me that he has sent me the data. Same thing with you people. Okay, I have sent a form to you, whatever information you have sent, I will be identifying through that token number in this case. For that reason, we use the CSRF underscore token compulsory. Whenever you are using the form tag, you have to make use of the CSRF underscore token in this case. Clear with this? Save and now refresh the page and I can show you the CSRF token in this. So this is the same HTML page what we have written, but this is something which we have not written there. Input type hidden ಅಂತ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿವಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. This is automatically generated by the software for that CSRF underscore token. And what is the token size? You can see this is the token number. ಈಗ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೀವು receipt number 1 2 3 4 ಬರ್ತದ, ಹಂಗ what the Python does is it generates one unique receipt number in this. So this is that unique receipt number in this case. And when these kind of things are deployed in the server, no matter even after 100 years, these token numbers will not be repeated in this case. No matter if your software is being used by 100 for 50 years, this token will never repeat itself in this. For every transaction, there is a separate unique receipt number that is generated in this. Clear with this point? So this is a proof that this has a complete information that what operation you have performed, what time, on which particular system, everything can be retrieved through this. Got this point? Okay. So close it. Yes. So let us enter the data again in this C language. Say course fees is 3000, then course duration is 2 months. Then we have introduction, translators, then we have keywords, tokens, operators, control statements, it goes on in this case. Click on add button. Now it's displays me a message saying course added successfully. Okay, suppose ಈಗ add ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ course ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸರ್ತಿ add ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ is it okay? Can I add a course which is already added? No, but in this case it will take it. If I enter C language again, course fees 3,500, duration 2 months in this case, and again pointers, arrays, etc. We can add, but course name once the add ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ you should not add the course with the same name. If I click on add, it will show course added successfully, which should not happen in this case. So for this reason, when you are writing the save code, we have to add one condition. Before saving the data, you should check whether the course name already exists or not. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, we put one simple if condition. In the if condition, I say if course master data dot objects dot filter open close, I will say course name whatever you have written here, same thing copy paste, dot exist function will check whether the data already is there in the database or not. Ittu antandra you say message, I'll give a message to the user, course already exists. Irlilla antandra he will come to the else part and he will perform the save operation. Understood this point? A very simple 2 lines of code will ensure that the course name is not repeated in this case. But this point, save madre. So ಈಗ actually 2 ಸತಿ course added ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದ. Now let me add C language again. Say course fees, duration, same data, some garbage because anyway it will not be saved in this case. Add course ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. It says course already exists. So course is not saved in this case. ಯದಕ್ಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸೇಮ್ ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು the course name already is there in this case. Understood this point? No doubt in this? Okay. So now the course is added. This is how the course will be saved inside the database. Sir, I want to see all the courses. Okay. So courses ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ಪೇಜ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ you can put it in a separate page in this case. Let us put that all the added courses in the separate page. Okay. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, we have to create a one more HTML page in this case. So I'll take a one more HTML page. Save this page inside the templates folder saying course details.html. Okay. So write the HTML structure, course details. I'll take the same, put it in H3, course details. Here I want to display all the course names. Display ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ, first in the views.py we have to fetch that data. And remember, when we have created a HTML page, the very next thing that we have to do is you have to add one path. So come to this place, just copy the above line, paste it, say course details, copy, paste. And ESRL we have to create a function in this case. So once we have created a HTML page, we have to create a URL. Once we have created a URL, go to views.py and here we create a function, that is def course details request colon, come inside this and call the HTML page. So we'll of course we use MSG empty and then we say return render open close request comma the name of the HTML page, that is course details.html. But illi data fetch ಮಾಡಿ I have to pass that data to the HTML page. So what I will do is I will say course data is equal to course master data dot objects dot all. Course master data, that's the name of the class from where you want to fetch the data in this. I say create objects, all the objects are all the data of that. Bring all the information. All means how many ever courses you have added, it will fetch all the data. So it will fetch all the data. It is copied inside the variable called as course data. Next, this course data should be passed to the HTML page. So separated by a comma, two flower brackets, course data colon course data. That is, we have to send the data in the dictionary format in this case. Now the data is sent to the dictionary format. In the course details, the data has to be displayed. Hang display ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? Very simple. You have to use a for loop inside the Python tag. This is our Python tag. Python tag naga for cd in course data. Okay, cd is a variable name which you can use anything you want in this. And come to the next and for. We close the for loop in this. Inside the for loop, ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದು course details ಏನು display ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗದ, you can display that. Go to the models.py, start copying these names, cd dot the course name. ಇದನ್ನ display ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ we put it inside two flower brackets, paste. Then again the same thing, copy paste 3 times. I'll take course fees, variable name change ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. I take duration, copy paste. I take course details, copy paste. Okay, save this, and now let us run the course details page in this case. So course details page run madlike I will open one more browser, localhost slash course details, and you can see all the course names have been added. C language 3000, 2 months, introduction, translatory, keyword, token, operators, control statements. Again there is a C language 3200, 2 pointers array. So data has been added in this case. Okay, sir, C language ಎರಡು ಸತಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಬಂದ? It is because we did not add the condition, so we had saved before that. Sir, but it is not looking good. Yes, of course, we have to make it look better in this case. Adaka, we can go for a table tag in this case. So very simple. Start with a table tag on the top, close it at the end of the for loop. And all these data, ಒಂದು ಕೋರ್ಸಿನ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಇವು 4 ಡೇಟಾ ಅವ. ಸೊ ಪುಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅ tr and close of tr, and each data is put inside td. td is a table definition. So table definition naga each column will be having the will be in separate columns in this case. Save ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, and now you refresh. Looks comparatively better in this case because each course is in separate page. Now make it look more better by using border equal to 1. So it will bring the borders in this case. Sir, mal namaga heading beku, that yenadu adu column antele. So for that, outside the for loop, use a one more row, use a td in that course name, that is the first column. Second column I have is the fees, so I'll call it as in rupees. Then one more column in this case, that is I have the duration in months, and last td I have the course details. Save ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, refresh. Now I got a heading on the top in this case. Use a bootstrap to look it more better in this. Okay, so bootstrap ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ same thing. First you have to copy paste those two links, copy the links and paste it here. And how to make it look good? Very simple. Here remove this border. We have a class called as table hyphen table border. Save ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, table ಬಂತು, border created. Looks better compared to the previous time. Sir, but heading chang ಕಾಣಿಸಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, that is course name, fees, it is not looking good. We can make it look good in this case by using a one more tag inside this t head and close of t head. Inside this t head, use a class by name table dark. Table dark ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. Save, refresh, looks better in this case. Got this point? So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ you have the data in this. So ನಂಗೆ serial number ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಬಾಜು. So serial number ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is very simple. Add one more td, say slno, serial number, and here now this is very important. Put a flower bracket and use for loop dot counter. For loop dot counter is a Python variable which will put serial numbers to the page in this case. So save ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, refresh the page, automatically serial number ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. Understood this point? Sir, ಇದು ನಾಳೆ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಲೈನ್ ಬೈ ಲೈನ್ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು. You have typed it line one line below the another in this. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ continuous ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. Can I have it in a separate lines? Yes, you can do it. Very simple. Use it inside a tag called as pre-tag ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. Pre-tag and type ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ how you have typed when you are saving the data will be displayed in the same way. Save this, refresh. I can see it is automatically one below the next in this case. At this point, this is how the data is displayed. Sir, some other special effects. Yes, you can have one more special effect in this case. That is, illi you can have table hyphen hover. Hover is one class. Cursor adar ಮೇಲೆ move ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it will put the highlight in this case. So it will show me the highlight of that. Under complete row information ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದ್ರು. So like this, you can make use of the hover to highlight the class in this case. Clear with this? This is how we perform the display operation. Display act we require that in the next part in this case. Okay, clear till here? No doubt in this case. How to save the data, how to display the data. A very simple lines of code. Trust me, I have written programs in C, C++, Java, C Sharp, Python, PHP, and VB language. I have written the storing of the data and displaying the data. This is the most easiest method and most less number of codes to save the data. Because I have written more complicated code than these to save the data. Okay, display ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತೂ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಏನು just it is a one line code in this case. It will fetch all the data in this case. Clear with this? No doubt till here? Online students, you have any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Yes, we will stop at this point in the today's class. And I want you people to practice these now itself sitting in the class. After in college, I know. Then you can write the save code for these. Okay, I'll share you the code in this group in this case. Go through this and write the code for this. Okay, day-to-day practice is very important because if you